Hi everyone, this is Pete here. So, after finding out more about Birmingham, right now I'm checking out Manchester to find out what's the real estate scene like. Is it worth investing in Manchester? And instead of finding out through internet, I decided to speak to a local, right? It's a friend who is studying there right now to understand how does she feel about the property scene in Manchester. Let's get straight into it. Just to understand right now for Manchester, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe on the broader picture, how do you see it? Do you see that the city is getting more vibrant, more people, or I don't know? What's your take?
I think like definitely the city is getting way more vibrant than when I first came to the city, because I
Mm-hmm.
first came to the city in like 2018, I think.
Mm.
Then yeah, so definitely now it's a bit more happening, and like there has been a lot of new developments, and at the same time there is also like upgrade in the facilities itself and like the amenities around, like more cafes. And
Yeah.
I think also there is more definitely way more people than when I first stepped in lah. So
Way more
population
people.
size increase.
Yeah. It's so
A bit crowded.
a bit getting more crowded, right?
Yeah, definitely.
The thing about the real estate I wanted to ask you, right, is that in
Mm,
Manchester, for example, when I first bought into Birmingham, right, one of the main thing is that in Birmingham there are very few such modern builds where there are
mm,
with facilities and stuff. So how
mm.
is it in Manchester? Is this also quite new to Manchester?
I would say in terms of apartment living, it's actually quite common in Manchester. I wouldn't say it's like the most new to everybody, because
Mm.
even like us students, because to get a like a rented apartment is sometimes actually cheaper than staying in the uni accommodation. So people
Oh,
tend
it's
to do
cheaper
that
than uni
like
accom.
yeah, so that people,
Wow.
so ironically, so what happened is that in first year, people who aren't too sure, we want to make friends, we all stay in uni
Stay in
accommodation.
campus, yeah.
And then after that, then we find like a friend or like a two buddies, then we'll stay maybe like
Then you
three
all move
people
out,
together.
stay together.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
see.
Because the thing about having an own apartment definitely is like the concierge, the privacy and everything. And sometimes like for us students, like uni accom can be a bit rowdy, and the funny thing is, Unicom, the prices also rise quite high. So it's quite
Mm.
beneficial for us students to stay outside actually. And with regards to like the apartment itself having amenities, I would say like the newer builds have more amenities. So the ones that were currently like so-called popular at the beginning, right now, like because of the new builds that looks way more fancier, I would say, and better, I would say presume better quality furnitures
Mm.
and everything is definitely will be able to demand more in terms of the rental, because and then people
Ah.
right now all like how do I say, especially the international students
Mm.
um who will be able to afford all this in terms of rental wise, they wouldn't mind like paying a bit of a premium lah, I would say.
Do,
Yeah.
do you see the number of foreign student change during COVID or pretty much the same?
Mm, I would say actually, okay, so during COVID period, there was actually a significant drop because most of them
Mm.
end up like couldn't fly, or the plate, there was some like traveling issues. But I think
Yeah.
now that things are starting to open up again, definitely there's an influx, because actually Manchester is quite famous for like in terms of their business school, and in terms and this actually attracts a lot of Chinese students especially,
Mm.
and also for
And they
the
are back
Middle
already lah.
Eastern. Yeah, they are back already, and additionally like Middle Eastern students,
Mm.
quite a handful of them actually study medicine, because the company, not the company, the country has like a what I say, partnership with the university. So this is why it will attract quite a bit of students from the Middle East as well.
Uh, and for most of you, you guys are renting, right? Or do a lot of them actually buy apartments there?
I would say most of them then end up tend to rent, because like for example, most of us, I would say asset medicine, the courses tend to be 3 or 4 years long.
Yeah.
So people only start to move out after like the first year. And then
Mm.
especially for a 3 years course, it's just like 2 more years of studying. So it's more
Yeah,
like
like
a
you won't think of buying already lah.
yeah, not very worth, I would presume
Okay,
so. Unless
okay.
um I only know of people who purchase apartments more of like if they're in their final year and then they know they're
Staying
securing
on.
a job. Yeah,
Ah,
then for 3 years, those kind, then their parents might
okay,
consider to get
okay.
one.
Hey,
That's from the student perspective.
actually do a lot of students stay on in Manchester after graduation? Like
Mm,
from what you observe lah.
Actually, the truth is there's quite a few, like a few friends that I know, like my closer friends, they all either get quite I would say good jobs. One of them working in the top four auditing company, and then the other one is like working in a very famous e-commerce company in the UK, and I have one more doing like some security software, selling security software. So a couple of them, actually, a lot of people tend to like stay to find a job in Manchester, because I think like we all know it's quite a bustling city, and people, one thing I know why people do like it is also because it's not as crowded as London. And then,
yes.
Yeah. So, and definitely cost of living in Manchester is cheaper than London.
It's definitely better.
Yeah, it's definitely better. So like people is like, if I can get the best of both worlds, then like, why not? Yeah.
And right now from Manchester to London is only about 1 hour plus train ride, right? Or 2 hours, I can't remember.
No, around 2 hours.
2 hours,
yeah,
right?
On average is max 2.5. Yeah.
Okay. So regarding rental, right, you were saying the student account is more expensive than rental outside. Currently, how much is, let's say, if you're looking at a one-bedder rental in Manchester, I mean around the Manchester University, right? How much would that be?
Okay, so the thing for Manchester University, like maybe I give you a bit perspective into it, is that the university is like one flat road. So it's literally a flat road. So there's no accommodation alongside the university, like apartment wise, except those like student accommodation. So like I remember last time when I was staying in student accommodation, like an ensuite only, but with like a shared kitchen, I remember paying like 150 a week. And honestly, with that,
a week. That's a room only, right?
Yeah, like a room with a toilet, and I have to share like the kitchen with like 5 other flatmates. That was like in my first year. It was pretty, I would say it's pretty expensive, because like
I'm just sharing the map now. Okay, so this is the uni, right? Am I correct?
Yeah. So you can see along this, where the Alliance Business School is, the whole line, this white line. Yeah, it's called Oxford Street or Oxford Road.
Oxford Road, yeah.
So then so accommodations nearer to the university itself is more expensive for students. And then there's a place called Fellowfield, where it's slightly way down, but it's like a 20-minute bus ride, and definitely the accommodation's cheaper there, but it's not as how to say, like fancy or promising lah. With respect to students, I would say there is actually opportunities, because there are students in Salford University. So I think for them it will be pretty definitely way nearer. And also what is that, those that tend to end up working, they prefer to stay in Salford area, just because the M1 postcode, which is basically the city center kind of postcode, the council tax is way higher.
Right.
So that's why like those that end up working, those they don't really stay along the Oxford Road towards Piccadilly side. Yeah.
Okay, so this is like the city center, the Deansgate side, and everything is more expensive lah. So this is right outside, but it's still kind of affordable, not that expensive yet, right?
Yeah, not that expensive yet. But then that being said, like, because right now I would think they already whatever they can do in the city center in terms of apartment building, they built quite a fair bit recently. I would say they were pretty aggressive, especially in the M1 zone. So right now I think a lot of developers, I would say I could see like a lot of new builds coming up in Salford.
Okay, so there's a bit of regeneration happening here for Salford area. Okay.
Definitely. And also because the thing is, it's actually near the Manchester Victoria station, so you wouldn't really lose out in terms of like transport. And the benefit is just like from Chapel Street around like this thing here.
Where is it? Sorry.
No worries. You know the City Suites Apart Hotel?
Where can I see that? Can you just direct me? Here. Okay, here.
Yeah, so Chapel Street, right? You can see this street. Then there's this Victoria Bridge, as what they call.
Yeah.
The bridge right across the river, you already lead you to town. So that's why it's actually quite prominent for people who are working, because working adults actually
Yeah.
their offices are further down. If you don't mind scrolling down a little, yes, this way down. You can a bit more down. Where is it?
Where is it? This the
yes.
coming to Dean's Gate area.
Yeah, enough. Yeah, I can stop here. Like you can see spinning fuse. I don't know whether you can see that on the map.
Spinning fuse,
spinning fuse. Yeah. This is where actually most offices are located. So that's why for those who's staying in the Salford area, it's pretty like a 10-15 minute walk away to office.
I see.
Like some companies that are located here I could think of is like PwC. So it's all a pretty famous company, yeah. And because this is like one of the prominent area for working, and then also the other prominent one would definitely be right smack at city, whether city center the start, which is you see
where's the city start from? Like here?
Yeah, the green color Piccadilly Gardens. Yeah. So this is where the start of city is, and then it's like a one-way street down along Market Street to your prominent shopping malls like Zara, Selfridges.
Yeah, that's right. Oh.
And then at this area, this is also where there are some offices like at the St. James Tower. Yeah, around there, this area, there are some offices. So these are the main two, like I would say, office-ish area.
Okay.
In like downtown Manchester. Yeah.
Okay. So it's still quite convenient, and I mean it's like just outside the city center, and it's actually closer to the CBD area, something like that.
Yeah, that's right. You can say that. And additionally, like if you really want to take the train down to London from like the place in Salford just now, like Collier's Slut, it's only like a 20-minute walk to Piccadilly train station, 20-25 minutes. So it's not that bad to walk directly to take the train towards London.
Okay, yeah. Where's the Piccadilly station? let me just orientate myself.
Sure.
Okay, so it's here.
Yeah, so it's here. Then so you just have to walk all the way. It's like a one straight road, so it isn't too bad.
Yeah. I think sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I wanted to say I think in UK standard 20-minute walk is quite fast already.
Oh yeah. So I was gonna ask, right, because a lot of Singaporeans, they always say like, oh, it's like very far in Singapore to think about walking for 20 minutes, right? But in UK, how is walking distance like? What's the limit for people? Is 20 minutes okay? Or is it too far and stuff like that?
I would say if you're lucky, 10 minutes is really considered super near. 20 minutes is not very far. So it's like 30-40 minutes, then people will consider a bit far because for example, if you stay in like uni accommodation and then when you walk to city center, it takes you maybe half an hour to 40 minutes. And people in UK just like walking for some reason. Because
the weather is good.
The weather's pretty good. Yeah, I would say. Especially springtime is really good.
Okay. So Jerica, just to understand more about the rental scene, right? Because likely I'm going to buy for investing. So over there, do you see people rather stay by themselves? That means they will just rent a one bedroom apartment, or do you see actually people like what you mentioned, like come together, 2-person or even 3 people renting a place? Like which one is more common from your observation?
I think from my observation, I would say it tends to end up being 2 people because it's nice to have like a roommate. And the thing is, because staying alone, rental is more expensive because you have to cover the whole apartment. But if you stay with someone, you can split the cost. And then because I think in terms of student-wise, those that tend to stay outside, their rental, they don't mind paying rental like 150 a week and above.
150 a week, so that's about maybe 650. Yeah, 600 a month. 600 a month.
Yeah, that is usually what in terms of students they target for. That is pretty decent. But then there are some students that are willing to pay slightly more.
Right. Previously they did a few of the project in Dean's Gate. And I just wondered, have you Elizabeth Tower actually? I think Elizabeth Tower, Dean's Gate were all done by them. Do you have any impression? Like, have you heard about it? Any feedback from your friends who might have bought it? I don't know.
A fun fact: Dean State Square, Usain Bolt has an apartment there.
Usain Bolt? Wow.
Yeah, he owns a place there apparently. Yeah, my friend saw him a few times in the lift. It was quite funny. But
like he's staying there himself.
Yeah, he has a place there in Dean State Square.
I thought he just buy it for investment, but he's staying there himself.
Because okay, Usain Bolt is actually a Manchester United fan, so sometimes he comes to the games, and then I
Oh,
think that's when
that's
he
where he
actually
stays
stays
lah.
here.
I
Yeah,
see. Okay, okay,
yeah, when
okay.
he comes, I think so.
Uh,
In terms of Deansgate Square, because I've not really been to Elizabeth Tower itself, but I saw it when I was driving around. So Deansgate Square basically and West Tower is really, really good. Like it's really, really popular among students. But unfortunately, right now, I think the students' capacity has reached its limit.
maxed out already.
And some they have really maxed out already, and then they have really, really good amenities like the swimming pool. They have like a yoga studio, so and they also have their own like gym, I would believe. So it's
Yeah.
actually really popular, and like the entrance to it, right, is actually really majestic. If you actually walk there, it's like you feel very welcome. And then there's also like a bit of, in terms of Singapore, like condominium facilities will be like the barbecue pit, and then there are some function rooms as well, and some like study area, I think, like so that people can co-work together. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay. Okay, so this developer I think is quite reputable lah. I mean, they have done quite a lot of projects in Manchester already.
Like you can see the word Deansgate, then there's Arc Manchester right beside it. Yeah, all this, they're like the clubbing area of Deansgate, so students like it.
I see. Okay, okay, but a bit rowdy, I guess.
Yeah, just a bit, tad bit rowdy. But
Maybe
yeah,
that's why they kept the student limit for Elizabeth Tower or this case correct.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and also, but sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Yes. No, I wanted to say, I think it's because also there is quite a big inquiries from like the adult working sector, and then because like all these students influxing at one shot, and then that might have resulted in like an like an over queue at first. So then like adults that who really want to rent might not be able to get a place as well. So I think I would say it's quite competitive. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. You were also mentioning like regarding rental. You were talking to some of the rental agents, and they say that there are actually like a list of like a waiting list for to rent in Manchester in general.
Actually, that is quite true. Like for example, Deansgate Square, I know some of my friends, they want to rent, right? In terms of student, they are in the student waiting list. So if you're adult, the thing is, it's quite easy to somewhat get an apartment, but at the same time, it's not as easy, because the thing about rental here, I don't know, I'm not too sure how Singapore works, but rental here, there's like Zoopla, Rightmove, there's a lot of like just rental websites.
Yeah.
So and then end up you have to go viewing, and the thing is, you also need to match in like with the move-in time. So the thing for Manchester, like I can say that the move-in time is pretty, like once you find it, it's quite immediate. It's not as like, oh, I can book it 3 months in advance. So sometimes whatever you look like right now in June, if you want to move in for September, it might not be available then, because if they will just want to get it to the person that can move in the fastest.
So it's really like it's like a high demand kind of thing whereby people are so ready to get it. You can't even say like, oh, let me book it now and then I move in 3 months later. Is when it's available, is whoever is available now, take it and go, is it?
Yeah, something like that. So even for my peers right now, if they are looking for like next year rental, because university in the UK runs from September to June, right? So they could only start looking around July to August, because or a start of like mid-June the earliest, because if they look at even like May or April, the apartments that they want to rent for September will not be out yet.
So overall, the rental market there is still very much, I would say, the demand outstrip the supply in your view. Is that true?
That is definitely true, especially for like the better, more newer apartments in Manchester, because right now previously there were some like really nice apartments called the Assembly and also Quadrangle, but I think over time, because this apartments comes all these new fancy apartments come out, and obviously looks prettier, better, so and then people would move in.
Because my worry is also if people I mean, I'm thinking like, would people prefer the older apartments and because maybe the rental is cheaper or something? But you seem to be saying that the rental market is quite strong there. Like people don't mind paying a bit more for the facilities and being new. Is that?
I would say actually, I guess it works both ways. So like if those that want to prefer to pay a bit lesser, there's definitely still apartment opportunities for them, and those that are willing to pay more, they will be able to find the better one. So I think it serves both sides of the spectrum.
In your view, I don't know whether you are very familiar with the Green Gate area, right? This area, I mean, on the map, if you look at the other part of the map, right, it seems like there are a lot of activities, a lot of sports, but when you move to Green Gate, right, it's kind of like sparse. So how do you feel about the Green Gate area?
I would say actually it is very upcoming and developing, because like what I mentioned earlier is that they pretty much cover whatever they can cover in terms of land space in the city already. So right now they're moving towards Green Gate, and the thing is Green Gate actually is near the AO Arena. Like you can see right beside it is the AO Arena. That's where like concerts happen. There's I think a go-karting region.
AO Arena is here, but
here'll be quite nice, and also because I think there is still a lot of space for development to happen around the area, because the land is quite like what Pete mentioned earlier, is very sparse. So there is still land for people to like build places. Like Chapel Street, that area is a bit there's quite a few apartments there already. And actually the Lorry Hotel is quite it's a hotel, but like just a fun fact, like Man United players stay there before the match. So
they'll always go there and stay before the match, is it?
Yeah, they always stay there. Like
nice.
Yeah.
Although I'm not really a soccer person, but okay, cool. Can go there and take some photos.
Yeah, definitely. So with that, like there's still like quite a few residents here already. You can see like Affinity Living. And then there is like slightly opposite the Lorry Hotel, right opposite, there is this like I think Chapel Wharf, then there are living not the river, the Lorry Hotel.
Lorry Hotel,
right
towards the Chapel side.
This side there is actually apartments here already.
I see.
But they are all not like, I would say they don't really. Okay, so the thing about some UK kind of builds is that the developers don't sell some of them.
They don't sell.
I'm not sure where they don't sell. So there are some apartments where they fully own it, and then you just have to rent it. So there's no way you can purchase a slice of the pie there. Yeah, so
I see.
But there are some that you can purchase. So it still have to check again back to the developer itself.
Okay.
But I would say Green Gate area is also very promising in a way. It's especially for those that have a car. You can see it's pretty much near the motorway. It's like A642, and then it leads you to different part of the UK. Depending on where you go. Yeah.
In London, where I used to study, people don't really drive as much. But in Manchester, do they drive? Like, is driving
I would say actually that there's quite a fair bit of traffic. So especially people that are coming into work, or even like they go visit their family members. People in Manchester tend to have a car. So every time when I drive into Manchester, sometimes it takes longer to queue to get in from the Salford region, like Green Gate area.
Okay.
Salford side. Then the driving part itself, the driving part on the motorway is actually really quite fast.
Okay. Manchester got quite good lah. I mean, it's like cheaper than London in general, but if you want a good quality of living at a lower price, I think Manchester is one of the go-to place, except outside of London, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And with regards to Great Northern also, actually this area there is what is that, a cinema. So it's really quite happening, like this whole stretch of town, like Key Street.
Okay.
And then St. John Garden, there's like also I think gym, like Barry's. So what they do is like, why is quite attractive this area, because like when you work in the company around the CBD area, they tend to link you up with all this like food area and everything. So it incentivizes people to come and visit.
Hey, by the way, how's the demographics in Manchester like? Because like I don't know, some parts of UK, for example London, I mean the young people population is shrinking. That's very clear. But for Birmingham it's the other way around. Birmingham is like 40% young blokes, right? But how is it for UK Manchester?
I would say it's actually more similar to Birmingham rather than London. That there is a lot of more young people, because I don't know, people just really like Manchester itself because it offers like a variety of everything for like for much more convenience. You know, like I feel like in London, you want to get from one place to another place, you have to take the tube because it's way much bigger. But Manchester is more like, I say, centralized, I would call it.
Everything is just within this block, basically.
Yeah, within this big block.
There is like surrounded by these highways, basically this whole thing.
Yes, that's right. You can put it that way. Yeah.
I see. If you're studying in, let's say most of your postings are within Manchester City, will you buy a place here?
Might consider. I don't know. Depends on when and where I get it.
So let's say as a student for you, would you think of staying here, or is this too far for university?
Okay, for me, because so for medical student wise, right, it depends on where I get located in terms of like the hospital base itself, and there's a possibility that I might be located in Salford. So if I'm located in Salford, yeah, there's actually a Salford Royal like further down somewhere. So in that sense, like that I know of students like peers around me who stay in who get allocated in Salford. They wouldn't mind staying in the Salford region. But let's just say if I'm allocated in like near to Manchester, like Royal Infirmary, which is the one nearer to the university itself, maybe I wouldn't probably stay in Salford, but I would probably consider like Deansgate area or even like along Oxford Street. So I would say for me, I don't like to walk too much, especially when you're too tired out of like placements. Like to me, a 30-minute walk is like my max that I will walk, because or else like to and fro daily is around 1 hour of walking already.
That's true. Okay, so here would likely be more targeted towards people who works in the CBD city area.
Definitely.
This side.
Yeah. Or unless there's targets for students who are studying in Salford University.
Or we target people who goes to Old Trafford, who works.
Because actually that's really true. Actually, that's not wrong, because Salford, right, like what I mentioned earlier, is near the motorway, right? From there to go to Trafford, which is where like there's actually a gigantic shopping mall called Trafford Centre. Yeah, around there, right? It's just like 10-minute drive off the motorway. So there's people that actually stay in Salford and then they drive out to to Trafford.
You were saying like some of your schoolmates, or uni mates, they are staying back, right? Are they locals, or actually you do see foreign students staying as well?
They're all Singaporeans.
They're all Singaporeans. Okay, so actually there are Singaporeans who are opting to remain in UK for their future work.
Okay, so because like if you're an international student, it pretty much like if you get a job in the UK, you'll be guaranteed like a graduate visa for 2 to 3 years minimum, depends on contract and whatsoever. So that's definitely incentivize people to stay first before like coming back to even coming back or even further like pursuing a degree, because after
would that help to get you PR? I don't know.
To answer the question, yes, it does, because what happened for the UK for PR is 5 years. So if you study like, let's just say a 3-year degree, and then your contract's 2 years. After 2 years, you can actually apply for PR in the UK already.
Oh, I see. No
so that is how it kind of works. Yeah.
That kind of that makes sense. I mean, it incentivizes people to say, okay, let me just stay another 2 years or even 1 year if you take a 4-year degree just to qualify for PR. Okay.
Yeah. For those that wants the like PR, because I guess rental like that might be a rental or buying property might be cheaper in the future for them. Yeah,
definitely. If you're PR, definitely you pay less taxes. Back to the rental and the housing side, right? I don't know whether do you observe it, but do you see prices going up in terms of housing prices and rental prices? Like, is it increasing?
Yes, definitely. So I could give you an example. For example, I had a friend during COVID, like he rented a place in Manchester New Square, like basically near the gay village. There's a new build there, so it's called Manchester New Square. And then like the time he managed to get it rental for 1 bedroom, 850. And honestly, 850 for 1 bedroom in Manchester is considered on the cheaper side already. Yeah. So right now, because after COVID, I met him recently at a cafe while doing work, and then I was asking him how's everything. He was telling me like the rental unit right now is rising to 1 bedroom minimum around 1.1, 1.2 already. So you can assume like why it incentivizes people to find like a friend or someone to stay with, because it definitely reduces the cost. Yeah. And also in terms of the property in Manchester itself, I would say because right now there's a lot of competition to make like now it's not about just building an apartment itself, but to also, especially in Manchester itself, it's very crucial to offer good amenities. But and then because people will be comparing like one place to another, like why this place have that, and then the other one doesn't, then if those that can like have a bigger like spending budget or rental budget, they wouldn't mind like paying for such nicer facilities lah.
What
Yeah.
are the key facilities that they will look out for? Like what is like a
Okay.
wow factor for them?
For me personally, I would say like having a swimming pool is actually quite unique. So if there is a swimming pool, it's a really plus point, because like I was sharing with Pete earlier today that gym, I would say isn't the
Gym,
biggest
yeah,
factor.
yeah.
Gym is like if you have, it's good, but or else there
Can
is
go to
like
the
a lot of
off-fit
like
gyms as
studio.
well. Yeah.
Yeah. So swimming pool is quite a unique thing for me personally, because I don't really see it much. It's not like, in Singapore, pretty much every condominium has their own swimming pool. You wouldn't really get that in the UK.
I
So
don't think they
that's
will
like
have
a really
open
bonus.
pool. It's definitely an indoor pool, right?
Yeah, it's an indoor pool.
Okay.
Yeah. And also another so-called plus point-ish is if there is a car park. So car park, actually,
okay.
because ironically in the UK, right, in city center, people tend to walk a lot more, like what I mentioned earlier. So they wouldn't seem the need for car park to have a car park. Like some developers, they don't build a car park. But if there is a car park, it's actually a plus point, because when you rent your space, you can ask for a higher asking price just because of the car park.
Oh, because the car park comes with it. Like do you have to pay more if you bought the place?
It depends from apartment to apartment. So it depends on whether they make you pay like extra, maybe a few thousand more to get the car park. But if you want to get it, it's like yours. And then you can obviously, even renting out a car park alone, you can actually somewhat make money from it.
Oh, so you can buy the apartment, and if you don't need it, you can sublet the car park out.
You can.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So actually, car park is a secret bonus that I noticed especially in city center. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll look out for that. So talking about that, right? In terms of security, which area in Manchester is like safer, or are there specific areas that are more dangerous? Like from what you see?
I would say the city center itself generally is quite safe, because people that tend to stay there I would say they are on the better side of the spectrum of like because they have the capacity to spend and everything, so it's not as bad.
They won't.
But like if you go to a bit of like the outskirt, you go to like outskirt, like Fellowview just now, where I was mentioning at the start, is when, like, for example, students, I heard like my friend, like computer, she has to sleep and put her computer in a container every night so that the burglars won't come in and that kind of thing. So it can get quite stressful as well.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, and then there's like a proper chat for like burglars that happen in Fellowview. Then they're like, there are everybody to be more aware and stuff like that. So that's why I think people end up feeling a bit more safer to stay in the city area, because
closer
especially they know there's like a concierge, there's like a security team that is like 24/7 on the ground. Yeah.
Wow. So that is also a big draw for people going towards a condo apartment style.
Definitely.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, and also because people order parcels, so
yes.
definitely having someone to take the parcel for use a plus. Yeah.
Yes. Wow, nice. Okay, cool. Actually, I don't know. Okay, last question. If I were to buy an apartment, let's say in Suffolk area, would you suggest I go for just an entry level 1-bedder, or do you think a 2-bedder would make more sense?
Personally, I could see moving forward a 2-bedder will make more sense. That being said, because it increases the variety of people that you can rent to. Like, firstly, is like you can target the student market, and then you also can target those like maybe like couples staying together. Also, you can target families, because families in the UK, they are pretty okay with like a 2-bedder, like a family that's starting out. Then you slowly move up. So it gives you like a lot of I would say variety in terms of
your
like
tenant
target
pool
audience.
is bigger for you to source from.
Definitely.
And
because 1-bedder you can.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Because 1-bedder you only can target mainly like students that are willing to stay alone, or like an office worker. So it's not a big talent pool. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Hey, Jerica, thanks for coming on the call. I know now. What time is it now in London?
It's only 9:45. So it's pretty
9:45.
early. The start of
okay. Thanks.